Hello guys, welcome back to AWMFX. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, all good night, no matter where you are. Hopefully you guys out there are doing great, earning a lot of money from the market and of course taking good care of your own health. So first of all, before I start, I'd like to wish those who are celebrating the Lunar New Year, Happy Lunar New Year or Happy Chinese New Year. So today I would like to make a special video for you guys. It's more about we call it the top to down analysis on how we look at some trend and how we look at how to enter a trade. All right. So let's kickstart with this Euro NZD daily charts. So usually what happens is that I will look at higher time frame because higher time frame is the trend that we need to be aware of. Now, don't get me wrong. Let's assume that the trend is a downtrend. You must understand that even though it's a downtrend, we must know that there is a possibility to get a buy and a sell both way because daily is very huge. Okay, so we should not neglect any type of trades. Okay, now let's look at this area at this moment. Now if you look at it, what happened is that the overall trend has actually turned downtrend, right? The price has broke the structure, it has gone downtrend. Now what happens here is that the price at this moment, okay, the price at this moment, it went uptrend again. Right, after that it has started to went uptrend because it has break the structure right here. Okay, now with this information, by using the structure and the supply and demand, we know two things. First, this is the lowest point, this is the highest point. All right, you guys should be very clear with this. This is the lowest point, this is the highest point after the break of structure right there. Right, maybe I need to draw it out. Okay, after the break of structure. Now by using the supply and demand perspective, where is the last demand zone, all right, that the price need to hold before it breach? It's right here. Okay, should I enlarge it a little bit? I have my own way of looking at the supply and demand zone. And by the way, if you guys are interested in the mentorship, which is going to kickstart this 1st of March, contact my assistant. All right, the contact will be on the description there. Now, looking at this area, the price now started to have some pullbacks, even though it's already uptrend, right? It started to have some pullbacks. So what you can actually do is that you look for possibility for trades. Now you're not going to look at a daily time frame. Reason is because daily time frame is huge. I was saying that extremely huge. Then other than that, we should look for other type of trades. Okay. So first we go to lower time frame such as H1. Okay, now at H1, what do we able to get is that you actually notice that the price started to go downtrend. This is what we call as a re pullbacks, all right, correction or pullbacks, okay, for this movement. By the way, my videos, I don't do much video editings because I want it to be a little bit raw and I really want it to be real for you guys, okay? This is how we actually look into how to trade. Now, when we get movements such like this, we have a confirmation that the price has break the structure. Are we going to straight away make our move? No, we need to look for what we call as setups. Okay, such like example, let's take a look. Now we have a setup right there, right? We have a setup. Now, if you guys, some of you do not know or don't notice that this is what we call as a QML setup. All right, let me draw the structure for you guys. The price went up, right? Came down, went up again, came back down, and then went up. This is the highest point. All right, and then it straight away goes down or went down. All right, so I just point right there. Why? It's important is because we know where is the break of structure. Right, the structure was broken and we have an official QML line right there. Now the problem with a lot of people is that they only know how to trade QML line, which is inaccurate. And by the way, this is not smart money concept or anything. It is just pure supply and demand with structure. Now, what we really need right here is that we want something that we call a fresh zone, all right, in this area. And the only fresh zone available is this zone, right? It's only this zone, which is actually quite all right because the range of the zone, how much is 18 pips. Now, what happened is that now you realize that the price started to go to the right hand side, all right, not returning yet. So is it okay? Yes, no problem. So next, let's look at how the price is. The price has entered into a daily zone. You remember the daily zone that we talked about earlier? Now, this is an opportunity for us to make a buy because we know that this is a zone, a stronghold where the price should not, or should I say, it shouldn't breach at this point. It shouldn't breach. Okay. So the price will tend to bounce in this area. Similarly, let's go to H1 and then look for what? Look for another setup, which we have QML here as well. Right? If you guys realize, we have a QML structure right there as well. So price went down, goes up, and then straight away goes down and then went up. And we do have a QML and a small break of structure, a very, very small break of structure. So is it all right? No problem. Okay, so what happens is that the price actually came down and it didn't really go very deep. Okay, it just went into our zone. That is a fresh zone right here, right? Fine. We have our fresh zone right here, right? So the price came into the fresh zone and then straight away went up. All right, can you see that the price actually went up? So it gives you opportunity to get buy trades. Okay, now the buy trade has done. Okay, and by the way, it's going to give you quite nice risk reward ratio. I was mentioning maybe around 1 to 4, 1 to 5. All right, such way. Now, once you have the buy trades, you need to start looking at the liquidity because this is a pullback. It may be a continuous pullback or it may just breach through. It's quite dangerous. Remember, overall trend daily is what? Uptrend. Okay, so maybe it's still some reaction for a downtrend or a further, should I say, pullbacks into a deeper area. So you need to monitor how the movement is. And for those who have been following me on the YouTubes and in my mentorship, you know this is some kind of movement we call it CPLQ. What is a CPLQ? CPLQ is a compression plus liquidity. Now let's look at what is a compression. Compression is where you do uh, you have a demand zone. All right, you tend to have a lot of demand zone. And what happened is that the price itself came back and consumed its own demand zone, making all the demand zone, I won't say all, most probably 70 to 80% of the demand zone has been consumed, meaning that there is no friction. Right? I like to use the word friction. When the price drops, there is no friction. So the other thing is that this whole thing gives me another liquidity. We call it as a CPLQ. Now you look at it, what do we have? We have SR flip right here, right? Support become resistance flip. Okay, so everything is in line. So this is an excellent type of trades that you should take, right? Don't hesitate. All right, price just goes in, drop just like that, very very fast. Okay, these are the trades that you can actually think about it. Now, what happened is that we know that this is the last demand zone, right? So of the daily. All right, maybe I label it daily demand zone, easier for you guys. Okay, so this is the last daily demand zone, and where is the lowest point? This was the lowest point. So you need to monitor and take a look. What happened is that if the price ever break this lowest point, right, there is a very good chance it will pull back and have a continuous trade, right? Continuous trade. So at this point, how many trades do we have? We have one good trade of a continuous trade. We have another buy trades of a rebounding from a demand zone. And look at it as the price goes, right? It do goes down a little bit, all right? But we want, what we do actually want is that we want the price to actually break through it, all right? We want the price to actually break through it in order for us to get another trade. And we do have that. We have this break of structure, right? You realize that it break of structure, and you may miss one of the trade right here. Is what we call it as a SPR. Support become resistance. It's a very, very obvious. We have a support area. All right, price when it break this support area, it forms a drop base drop. So price actually has what we call as a compression as well when the price went up. Okay, now the only thing is that you may get how should I say uh heartbroken because you may not get this trade, but it's okay because we know that the price has gone through. All right, we know the price has gone through, and at lower time frame, this whole thing, all right, is actually a QML. All right, this whole thing is actually a QML. Look at maybe 30 minutes or 15 minutes, you can actually realize that there is a QML structure right there, right? And we have a break of structure. Very, very obvious. We have a break of structure. And where is our entry area? Very simple. Fresh zone, right? So in this case, I tend to make it a little bit bigger, or sometimes a little bigger due to the how should I say, the zone, or should I say the limitation of the zone. Okay, you need to give some room for the price to move. Okay, especially at the edge area, right? Especially at the edge area. So price just drop, and then we are just need all you need to do is wait for the price to comes back. So whether does it comes back or not, I'm okay. Sometimes you win, sometimes you lose, right? That is the way of trading. So what you actually need is that you need to look through it, right? So price did came back, it went through a little bit extra and then start dropping again. Similarly, look at how the price movement is. Do you realize it is still a compression again? And you get a few chances like this. This is support, resistance become support again, right? Instead of support become resistance, exactly right there, you have another opportunity right here. So there is a lot of way of trading, and how we do it is you need to go from daily time frame, look at the overall trend, and look at how the price is now. The or should I say, is the price going downtrend? Has it gone downtrend? Yes, in H1 only, in H1. But in daily, has it gone downtrend? Let's look at it. All right, maybe I'll just take a look. Has it gone downtrend? No. Still remember where is our highest point and our lowest point. All right, if you guys still remember. Okay, our lowest point is still intact, still right there. Right, still right there. So like what I mentioned, the price will go very, very deep. Right, it may goes very, very deep. So as long it did not breach through this lowest point, we are still having an uptrend. This may be a pullback to the higher side, all right, or maybe to this setup right here, or maybe the setup right here. We have one supply zone right there, daily supply zone, and we have another daily supply zone. So this is all our way of trading. You need to look at a high time frame perspective and slowly filter your opportunity at lower time frame. Why? Because a candlestick in higher time frame, especially like daily, is worth a lot of pips in H1. And if you're able to go even lower, like 15 minutes, okay, you will get more opportunity, or should I say a higher risk reward ratio. All right, so that's all for today. Hopefully you guys really uh, learn something to earn your money in this trading. Trading is actually not really that difficult. It's just that your mind, or should I say your perspective, or your uh, courage, you don't have that courage to get that trades. Okay, so if you guys need any somebody to guide you, you may contact my assistants, because we are opening the uh, registration for the March the 9th batch mentorship. All right, so that's all for today. If you like the video, please give me a thumbs up and hit the subscribe button. So see you guys next time. Bye.